You just spent 45 minutes scrolling. You cannot remember a single video. Your brain feels like static. This isn't distraction. This is your dopamine system being hijacked by the same mechanisms that make cocaine addictive. Oxford University named it Word of the Year. Neuroscientists call it Digital Dopamine Dysregulation. You call it brain rot. And right now, your prefrontal cortex is physically shrinking. 200 billion short-form videos were watched last year. That is 27,000 videos for every person on Earth. And here is what nobody tells you. Every single swipe is rewiring your brain. You are not weak. You are not undisciplined. You are a human nervous system being exploited by algorithms designed by the smartest engineers on the planet. Tonight, we decode the neuroscience of brain rot, the dopamine slot machine, the attention collapse, the prefrontal cortex fatigue. Because the research shows something shocking. It is not permanent. Your brain can adapt back, but only if you understand what is actually happening. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up. Before your feet hit the floor, you check your phone. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. 15 minutes gone. You do not even remember making the decision to open the apps. Autopilot. You get to work. You need to write an email. 3 sentences in, your mind wanders. You check your phone, just for a second. 17 minutes later, you are watching someone make miniature food. You have no idea how you got there. Lunch break. Fork in one hand, phone in the other. Scrolling through an endless feed of faces and voices and music. None of it registers. You finish eating. You do not remember tasting the food. Evening. You tell yourself you will read tonight. You open a book. First paragraph. Your mind drifts. The sentences feel too long, too slow. You pick up your phone instead. Just 5 minutes, you promise yourself. 2 hours disappear. You go to bed feeling guilty, foggy, wondering where your brain went. This is brain rot. And if you recognized yourself in that description, you need to understand what is happening inside your skull right now. Your brain operates on a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is not pleasure, it is anticipation. It is the feeling of wanting something before you get it. Every time you scroll to a new video, your brain releases a small hit. Will this one be interesting? Will this one be funny? You do not know. That uncertainty is the hook. Neuroscientists call this a variable reward schedule. It is the same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. You pull the lever, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Every swipe is a lever pull. Every video is a gamble, and your dopamine system cannot resist it. Here's the problem. Your brain has a limited dopamine budget. When you flood it with constant micro hits from scrolling, your baseline dopamine drops. Activities that used to bring you satisfaction, reading, walking, conversation, now feel boring, flat, empty. They cannot compete with the artificial dopamine tsunami you have trained your brain to expect. A meta-analysis of 98,000 participants confirmed it. Heavy short-form video consumption is linked to measurably diminished attention control and impaired executive function. Your ability to focus, resist impulses, and make decisions is being degraded in real time. Another study tracked 7,000 children and found that more screen time was associated with reduced cortical thickness. The physical structure of your brain changes. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational thought, actually shrinks. But here's the part they don't emphasize enough. This is not permanent brain damage. This is neuroplastic adaptation. Your brain is incredibly flexible. If you scroll for hours every day, your brain optimizes for scrolling. It builds pathways for rapid context switching and reduces pathways for sustained focus. The good news, learning works both ways. What was learned can be unlearned, but you need to understand the stage you're in. Stage 1 is habituation. Normal activities feel boring. You need constant background stimulation. You cannot eat without a screen. You cannot walk without a podcast. Your brain creates discomfort during stillness to push you back toward the phone. Stage 2 is sensitization. You actively crave the hit.
You feel anxious without your phone. You check it compulsively. Reading feels impossible. Movies feel too slow. Your brain has been tuned to 15-second bursts. Anything longer triggers impatience. Stage 3 is cognitive decline. You struggle to make decisions. You procrastinate on everything. Your memory retention drops. You can't remember what you learned yesterday. You feel foggy, scattered, like your brain is operating through a layer of static. Why does this happen? Because these platforms have weaponized behavioral psychology. Autoplay removes decision friction. Endless scroll removes stopping cues. The algorithm personalizes content to your exact triggers. And here's the part that should terrify you. The companies building these platforms know exactly what they are doing. They optimize for time on platform above everything else. Your attention is the product. You are not the customer. You are the inventory, and business is booming.
But you didn't click on this video to feel helpless. You clicked to understand how to reverse it. So let's talk about the protocol. 3 tiers, 3 timelines. Tier 1 is friction installation. You implement this week. The goal is simple. Make scrolling harder. Break the autopilot. Step 1. Delete the apps. Not disable, delete. If you need to access social media, use the mobile browser version. It is clunky, slow, frustrating. That frustration is the point. Every time your thumb moves toward the icon and finds nothing, you interrupt the loop. Your prefrontal cortex re-engages. Step 2. Turn off all notifications. Every notification is a dopamine trigger. Even if you do not open it, your brain has already been activated. Remove the triggers and you remove the automatic pull. Step 3. The timer rule. Before you allow yourself to scroll, set a 20-minute timer. Research shows this trains your brain that you control the session. When the timer goes off, you stop, even mid-video, especially mid-video. Step 4. The replacement menu. If you remove scrolling without replacing it, your brain will fight you. You need alternative dopamine sources. Make a physical list, read 5 pages, do a puzzle, listen to one song with full attention, take a walk. When the craving hits, you pick something from the menu. Tier 2 is attention rebuilding. You implement this over the next month. The goal: retrain your brain for sustained focus. The key is reintroducing long-form content gradually. Your brain currently cannot handle a 2-hour movie. That is fine. Start smaller. 10 minutes of reading daily. 1 20-minute podcast. Every time you sustain attention for longer than 15 seconds, you are strengthening the neural pathways responsible for deep focus. These are muscles. They atrophy with disuse. They strengthen with practice. You also need dopamine rebalancing. Recalibrate what feels rewarding. The satisfaction of finishing a chapter, the connection of a face-to-face conversation. These release dopamine too, but it is slower, steadier, more sustainable. This takes 3 to 4 weeks. The first week, reading will feel like trudging through mud. By the 4th week, you remember what flow state feels like. Tier 3 is long-term neuroplasticity. This takes 3 months. The goal: structural brain changes. Neuroimaging studies show that cortical thickness can increase again. Dopamine receptor density can normalize, but it requires consistency. You will slip. You will have bad days. That is fine. Neuroplasticity does not require perfection. It requires repetition. Now, let's address the uncomfortable question. Do you have to quit entirely? No. Research shows moderate use is fine. The problem is the extremes. There is a concept called the Goldilocks hypothesis. If you can watch short-form content briefly and return to your life without difficulty, you are okay. The test is simple. After scrolling, do you feel energized or drained? Clear or foggy? If you feel drained, you need to change. Here is the timeline for reversal. Week 1, the withdrawal is real. Anxiety, boredom, irritability. Push through. Month 1, focus starts returning. You can finish tasks without switching contexts. Month 3, the brain fog lifts. Your motivation returns. You remember what it feels like to want to do things instead of just wanting to escape. Your brain isn't rotting. That is not what is happening. Your brain is adapting to an environment designed by billion-dollar algorithms to keep you scrolling. But attention is a trainable capacity. What was learned can be unlearned. You are not stuck. You are not broken. 3 tiers, 3 timelines. This week, install friction, delete apps, set timers. This month, rebuild attention, reintroduce long-form content. Long-term, commit to structural change. At Pinnacle Mind Metrics, we decode how your biology responds to the modern world. We translate neuroscience into practice. The algorithm wants your attention. It is engineered to take it. The question is, are you giving it permission, or are you taking control back? Your prefrontal cortex is waiting. Your dopamine system is ready to rebalance. The protocol starts now.